Hi and welcome back to another video of JPlay. I am Marcus and today I'm going to play the solo mode of Mycelia. I don't really know if there is an English version of this game, but the subtitle is Im Tal der Tausend Tautropfen, so basically in the Valley of the Thousand Dewdrops or so. And it kind of falls in line to the, let's say, never-ending wave of nature and cuteness-based themes coming out. Recently, I already covered this, or mentioned this during one of my last videos when I covered Last Night on Earth, where really, yeah. I mean, there were zombies before, then there was Vikings, now it's nature and cuteness. But yeah, this game is basically published by Ravensburger, at least again the German version of the game, designed by Daniel Greiner. And it's not really a review copy, it's a game that we have been given access to as part of our Stadtland Spielt event, which is an upcoming game event next Saturday actually, so September 16th. So if you happen to be in the Frankfurt area in Germany, then definitely come by and play some game with us. And as I want to learn some of these games, and yeah, in order to be prepared, in order to explain these to whoever is coming, I stumbled upon Mycelia, and as I'm really a big fan of deck building games, this definitely intrigued me. And it also comes with a solo mode, and that's exactly what I'm going to cover today. And theme aside, what I'm trying to do here is to move all of my dewdrops from my little board here, and I think there are various setups for these boards. I believe randomly I have been given myself the starting layout of the board. There are also different sides on each of those player boards here, so everyone can play this a little bit differently, and I think at some point in time you definitely want to do that. But again, I really pulled this out randomly, and I believe for the solo mode it doesn't really matter. So again, ultimately I'm trying to move these dewdrops here through this space up here of my board, and it's basically a race, so whoever manages to do that first is basically the winner. The solo player is trying to do exactly the same, but we're using the solo board here. I think his name is Gwydion, by the way. So this is the guy we are fighting against. This thing is double-sided. It's definitely part of the rules. And yeah, this is the deck of his, let's call it, solo cards. You usually play 5 of these cards, so one you're never playing, at least during a given round, and you shuffle them all together. So there's at least always some uncertainty which cards are coming out and which aren't. And as far as I remember, there is one good card in here that is definitely beneficial to me. Up here we have the advanced card, and I'm really decided to play all in. So there isn't, let's say, an entry-level game where you are removing some of the more advanced cards. But if you have played your fair share of deck building games, you shouldn't be afraid at all. But again, I think it's a game designed 9+, so really can be a family-friendly game, especially if you're removing some of the more advanced cards. It makes the game much easier. So you can really enjoy this with your family, and also, let's say, some more advanced gamers, that is. There is a nice little gimmick that comes with the game. It's this 3D shrine here where you place all the dewdrops that you are removing from board, and that is true for both the normal player and the solo AI player Gwydion. We will place them here, and once one of these sections is full in a 2-player game, and that's what we are simulating here, if all of these are basically filled with these dewdrops here, we are turning it, then some of these dewdrops, or all of these dewdrops, will fall out eventually, and then we have basically the die here that tells us on which of the spaces we will bring more dewdrops in. So every now and then more dewdrops will drop out again. Unfortunately, this is only true for the solo player, aka us. So in this case, we would bring out 2 more dewdrops here on these spaces on the game board. And there are more of these tiles. It's even double-sided. So once we have done this, we will bring it to the other side. So there is definitely a good amount of replayability. But ultimately, it's really a relatively fast-paced game. We should go through this relatively quickly, even though we are bringing out some of these dewdrops back to our board every now and then. We start the game with 6 of these, let's call it, more basic cards here, and this is our starting hand of 3 cards, and that's what you are getting. You're always drawing up to 3 cards. Every text that you see here is fluff only, so you don't need to worry about this. So the game per se is really language independent. You only need a set of the English rules, and I really should have checked if there is an English version out or not. But again, this is our starting hand, and we are also always the starting player. Good thing is, if we are winning the game, so if we remove our 20th dewdrop, then Gwydion never gets to take his final turn. Normally you play equal number of rounds, but in this case, when I remove my 20th dewdrop, I have automatically won the game. Okay, with these cards, there is not an awful lot we can do, but there is something we can do. First of all, this one is a relatively easy one. We will play these cards, and we play deck builder typical. We will play all of our cards, so everything that we are not going to play or can't play, don't want to play, we simply discard at the end of our round, and yeah, then we are drawing a new hand of cards. This one here is very, very simple. We play this card, and this is a little bit untypical for a deck builder. Every card that you play, once it is fully resolved, you will immediately put it onto your discard pile. So if there is something that will let you shuffle your discard pile or have you draw cards, all the cards that you have played this round will in theory be available to you again. Most other games, like Legendary for example, they first go into a played area, and only at the end of the round they are being moved to the discard pile. And I think this reminds me also a little bit of, what was it? I think Slay the Spire. That was also very similar. So you play a card and put it directly onto your discard pile. But enough said. For this one, we are getting one of these leaf tokens here. So there's one leaf in here, and that's the currency of the game. And those leaves either allow you to buy more of these advanced cards here, and I think they range from 2 to 8. I think this is the most expensive card in the game, and I think there are cards for 2. So right now there are no advanced cards that we can afford, but we can also spend our leaves to use our basic actions here. So for one leaf, for example, we can simply discard the whole offer of advanced cards and hand out a new card. Of course, this will cost us some leaves. Right now it doesn't really help us at all, because when we spend it, we will basically be stuck with no money anyway. And this one here, for 3 leaves, we will be allowed to move anyone of our dewdrops one space orthogonally adjacent. And again, if you see these white outlines here, this means you can move them from any space. So the dewdrop could move from, I think, grassland here, or from this mudland here, for example, one space adjacent. And whenever you are moving one of your dewdrops onto this portal space here, you are immediately removing it and then bringing it onto the shrine. So this could be something worth doing. And did I already mess it up? No, I think that was the starting setup here. But that was our first card done. And then we have 2 more. This one here also allows you to move a dewdrop one space adjacent, orthogonally adjacent, that is, never diagonally. But this one needs to start its journey on a water space. This one here on a grass space. I mean, this definitely does make sense. And I think there is no reason not to play that, or not to play them, or not to use them. So we will do this. Again, it goes directly onto our discard pile. And in order to make some progress here early in the game, I will move this from a water space onto the portal space here. So we are removing it from our player board, and we will bring it onto the first space of the shrine. We still have one more card to play, and in this case it's this really cute looking mushroom here with a ladybug. And we are moving one dewdrop from a green space, and I think it's not really grass, but yeah, bear with me. I could move this up here, but usually there are reasons having multiple dewdrops on a single space. So if I would do this, yes, we would do more progress, or would make more progress. But moving it over here, it's somewhat of a preparational turn, and sooner or later you will see cards that definitely, where it does matter how many dewdrops you will have on particular fields. But that's basically the end of our card play. Again, we have one leaf. With one leaf, there's really nothing we can do. Next, we would refill our offering here. We would check if the shrine is full. Both are basically untouched, or not really untouched. We have placed one dewdrop here, but it's certainly not full. So the last thing that we are doing now is to refill our hand, and here we getting some more of these leaves. So maybe next round we will be able to buy something, and I think we will do that sooner than later. But that's basically the end of our turn. Over to Gwydion. And have I mentioned that I'm a big fan of easy to follow solo rules, and that's most certainly the case here. We are simply flipping over one of these tiles here, In this case, we are getting 1 leaf. Okay, that is really, really nice. I will certainly take that. And this one here simply says we are removing 1 of these dewdrops onto the shrine, and that's already the end of his round. Easy as that. Isn't that lovely? Okay, over to us. This one here gives us +2 leaves, and this also means we would hand out 1 leaf to all of our other players. This is the one exception. Gwydion doesn't care about leaves at all, so we can simply ignore this piece here. So in this case, we are getting 2 leaves. We are playing this one, so in total we are getting 3 more leaves. This one allows us to move, I don't know, what is that, a Yeti? To move 1 of our dewdrops from a red space, and I think in this case the only, yeah, that was really, this is, these starting setups, by the way, they are also, I think there are 4 of these tiles and they are both double-sided. So even with that alone, you get so much replayability actually. I really do like this one a lot. But in this case, yeah, we only have this space here and we don't want to waste our movement, right? So in this case, let's simply move it in here again, doing a more preparational turn, and that's kind of the end of our round, but not so fast. In theory, we have now, not in theory, practically we have 5 leaves. We could spend them down here. So for 3 leaves, for example, we could move 1 guy up here and make progress. But I think with 5, there has to be something we can buy. And indeed, there is. And this is really an outstanding card here. This costs us 4, which we have. I take it. It has a one-time bonus, which gives us another action, another standard action here, but again, this is a one-time action, so from now on we can also spend 3 leaves to trash a card from our hand. So it's really a perfect way getting rid of our starter cards rather sooner than later. So we are placing this to the bottom of our player board, and again, from now on we can take these actions. Each of these standard actions down here, they're one time only per round, that is, so I cannot whatever spend 6 in one given round to trash 2 of my cards, similarly here. But usually, yeah, money can be tight, or let's say leaves can be tight. And yeah, last but not least, let's not forget to really acquire the card here. And also, unlike normal deck builders, I would say this doesn't go to your discard pile, it goes on top of your draw pile. So we'll have that card at our disposal basically with our very next round, which pretty much happens now. So we know we can draw this card. That's definitely 2 more leaves, and we will shuffle the rest here. In theory, we could now spend our last remaining, oh no, we can't. This costs us 3 leaves. No, we can't trash a card just yet. It would be way too cheap, of course. But yeah, I definitely take it. So let's see what we get. So I shuffle a little bit longer. We will draw up, and okay, next round will be a buying round for sure, but let's also not forget to refill the offering. And oh wow, that's a good one. Getting 4 extra leaves, that's pretty much huge. It's like gold in Dominion, right? But okay then, it's Gwydion's turn. We will reveal the next card. Okay, it's good and bad. So we are getting 1 more leaf, hooray, but he will, wow, return 3 of his leaves. Are you kidding me? The rules really say it is challenging, but he really is. This would have been a perfect card to be here at the very bottom of the deck, because then we wouldn't have played it this round. But that already concludes his turn. And again, I really so much enjoy solo modes that still feel challenging, but are very, very straightforward to follow. That's really a job very, very well done. But of course, I forgot, these tokens should go in here actually, not into the reserve. So 5 more spaces to go, and we will get up to 2 back onto our player board. Back to us. This one is easy, this one is easy. Again, in total, we will get 3 of these leaves. Again, usually you trigger these cards one by one, but in this case, there is nothing that will come in our way, so we can resolve them both. Again, Gwydion doesn't really care about any of these leaves, so we already dealt with those 2 cards. Now we are playing this card down here. First of all, we are getting 2 more leaves. Okay, we might be able to buy some more cards this round. And again, this is definitely necessary. And then this card down here allows us to remove a dewdrop from a green space that has at least dewdrops on it. So I already mentioned this before. If I would have moved this dewdrop over here, then both of these spaces would be eligible for this removal here. In this case, we still have more than enough spaces where this is allowed. So in this case, we will definitely go with one of those, and I will go for this one here because it's simply furthest away from our portal here. Yeah, I definitely do like that. Again, this time I will not forget to immediately place it onto the shrine. And then we have 7 leaves. And with those, I think I will go for this one here. We're getting 3 leaves. And we get to remove basically 2 dewdrops from water spaces. Yeah, let's definitely take it. It goes directly onto our discard pile. Let's not forget to pay for those cards. And I think then we are ending our round. So let's draw our cards. Here is really a surprise. I really want to get rid of those cards as soon as possible. And I think, yeah, let's see about that. There are still some spaces left, so we are not turning the shrine. So let's move over to the offer here. Wow, another 8er. Are you kidding me? And then we are doing Gwyddion's turn here, which, wow, allows us to move any one of our dewdrops. That is huge. And I believe I want more dewdrops either on the green. This could help us actually. I think that's what we are going to do. So we are moving this one over here actually, because with our hand of cards we could then move this one up here, and then we know we have a red card that is coming up relatively soon. Yeah, okay. I definitely take that. That was really lucky for us. And then it's our turn. Here we are simply getting 1 more leaf. Here, let's do that first. We are getting 3 more leaves. So again, already at 3, that's nice. And then we get to remove 2, basically 2 individual actions, that is, and they need to come from water spaces. And yeah, we take one off here and we take one off here, and we'll place those accordingly. 2 more spaces to go. And yeah, we are not done yet, of course. We still have our starting green card, and I think, again, the idea was to move this one up here. So I'm relatively certain one of these cards is the red card, which would allow us to remove it during the next round as well. We have 4 leaves, and in theory, we could afford this one here, which would give us either 3 leaves, or we would be allowed to move 3 dewdrops from water spaces. But I believe in this case I want to spend 3 leaves to do this action down here. The rules tell you to flip it over, but I'm relatively certain I can remember. So we are looking through our discard pile. Again, all the cards are going to the discard pile anyway, and I think we are removing this starting card from the game, and that's basically the end of the round. Exactly. So let's simply draw our 2 cards. Exactly, here is the red one. Here, these we have to shuffle. And yeah, we have drawn the other card, the other starting card. But okay, nothing to complain here. Sooner or later we will get rid of it as well. Over to Gwydion. Let's see what he will do. First of all, we will flip this to the other side. If it's flipping again, he will also remove a dewdrop, and in this case he will also remove one of his dewdrops. So he's already down to only 15. But yet again, the shrine isn't moving at all. Back to us. Let's do the easy one first. We are going to take 1 leaf. No, this is okay. We are playing this card here. This allows us to move 1 over water space. And okay, this is now a problem. I know we still have some over here, some dewdrops, okay, on water spaces. So we have to hold on to those. So I think in this case, no, I think in this case we can do this actually. So we're removing this here. It goes onto the shrine, which is now full, but we are only turning it at the end of our round. Then we are playing this card here, and I think there is no reason. Oh, do we want to have more water space? Because we have acquired the card that allows us, no, it's already in our discard pile, like that allows us to remove from water spaces. So no, I think in this case, let's do this instead. Let's not get too greedy. You really want to maximize the cards that you are buying. So you really, in this game, you have to know your deck to some extent in order to optimize it, which is really something I do enjoy quite a bit actually. But that's basically the end of our round. With 2, there's really nothing serious we can do. So last but not least, we have to turn the shrine here. Really only the die matters. And we have rolled the tree, which means we are bringing out 2 more dewdrops, which go on the very same relative positions on our player board here. And then we are flipping this to the other side. So this is basically flipping back and forth. All the others, again, Gwydion doesn't get any bonus dewdrops, go to basically the supply again. They will never to return again. But that's basically the end of our round. We will bring back the die, of course. It goes back in here. We are drawing our cards, so let's see what we get. Okay, I like that for sure. And then we are taking Gwydian's turn, and ooh, okay, that's a very nasty one. Okay, the game will be over relatively soon. So we are flipping this back, which means it shows this one, so 1 goes in here, and then on top of this we are also removing 2 more from his board, so he's down to only 12. Now after his turn is done, we are taking the last remaining 1. And yeah, basically only shuffling the pile. So every round you have 1 tile where you're never 100% sure what is coming out. In this case we were kind of lucky, I think, but yeah, let's see how things go from here. Back to us. Again, let's do the easy one here. So we are doing this. Does it matter? Does it matter? I don't really know. Let's do this. That is fine. And I think in this case we want also 1 more here. Again, we have something. I think we don't have anything with brown spaces. I think brown spaces are usually only triggered through these wildcard movements, like this one down here. So I think, yeah, let's leave it at that. And here it's also quite simple. We are taking 3 more. What did I do actually? Did I cheat here already? No, I think. Did I take too many of these? Did I take 3 here? I think I have taken 3. I think that should be wrong here in this case. So sorry for that. And then we are going to remove 2 dewdrops from water spaces. So I think in this case it's crystal clear. We are moving those 2 and placing them up here. We have 7 leaves. This one is extremely strong, but it also allows us, in this case, he would be allowed to remove 1 dewdrop. And quite honestly, right now, I don't want to trigger this. This one here is something which you have to prepare quite well, because it says you have to have exactly 1 dewdrop. You see this little bug here? This says you have to have exactly 1 dewdrop on this space, not more, not less. And then this would allow you to remove basically 4 adjacent dewdrops. And oof, quite honestly, we have the situation over here. Problem is we don't have 8 money. So I'm really tempted to not spend my leaves just yet. No, let's not do that. Let's end our round here. Let's draw our cards. This one, I think, yeah, we have the money next round, unless he's playing his tile where he's removing the offering. But then we will get something else that is cool. And then we shuffle our hand of cards. And okay, this will be a purchasing round, it seems. But okay, I take that. Over to Gwydion, and oops, I think I have put them exactly in the wrong orientation. So we are getting 1 more leaf. So this was the leaf we would have needed last round, and he's simply removing 1 dewdrop onto the shrine, and that's basically the end of his turn. Okay, let's see. Here we are getting 2 leaves, so let's get a 3 get one away. This time I will try to play it right. This one gives me 2 more leaves, so I think in this case we have to take them 2 anyway. And we can remove 1 from a space that has at least dewdrops on it. And again, it has to be a green space, and I think in this case we will take the southernmost one. It goes onto the shrine, which is almost full again. And with our last card we could actually prepare the same situation again for the card we are about to acquire. So in this case we want to move this fella over here. Oh, what do we? Yeah, it has to be a red one, right? No, I think that is fine. Let's do it like this. On the other hand, oh, wait a second. On the other hand, we could also move this one down here. So basically away from our portal, but then we would be able, nah, it's the same thing. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's not think about this too long. Then we are spending the 8. Oh, we can still remove a card, but let's spend the 8 for now to acquire the card we have already kind of prepared twice. And again, we are placing it onto our draw pile here, and we still have 4 leaves left. There is another card with 3, but I don't feel like it because it's another card that would allow us to manipulate blue spaces, and we already have at least 2 of those in our deck, so let's not worry about this. I don't want to trash a card right now, and I could move 1 card with 3 money, but there's also not an immediate reason to do that now. So I think we are not going to do that, so we are calling it around. We will draw our hand of cards. Oh, what a surprise. Okay, here is this one. This is good actually, I believe. And yeah, I want to get rid of this one. So maybe next round I will want to use my basic action here to remove it, because you can only trash cards from your discard pile. Then we have to replenish. This is a nice one, I believe. And then we are going to flip this one. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, hooray, we are getting 1 leaf, but he is removing 3 more of those fellas. And guess what? This also means we are filling the board here again. So at the end of his round, he is turning it, and it really doesn't matter who is turning it. Especially in a multiplayer. Oh, it could actually, oh, it could destroy our... Oh yeah, oh, it could destroy our plan actually. Okay, that is really something to worry about. And this is the wind symbol, and I think the wind symbol is quite okay because we are only adding 1 dewdrop. There is only 1 symbol on this tile, but of course it goes to the most remote region on our player board. Let's flip this to the other side. Let's reset the shrine again. Those dewdrops go back to the reserve, and then it's our turn. So, our turn. We are getting 1 more leaf. Yeah, this is a bummer actually. This doesn't come at the right time, I believe. Does it matter actually? I don't think it does. So we are playing this card here. We are doing, yeah, let's do this for now. So it goes onto the shrine. So we have removed 1 more. And by the way, how many do we have left? It doesn't feel that we have made any progress actually, but if I counted correctly we are down to 14, but keep in mind we have been given 3 back through the course of the game already, and I think now it's the perfect time to play this card here. Again, we have to select a space where there is exactly 1 dewdrop. This could be this one here. It's a wildcard space, it's a white, and then we are removing 1 from every adjacent space. 1, 2, 3 and 4. That wasn't terrible. Now we are down to 10, but of course it's also filling up the shrine here accordingly. So yeah, it's more realistic that we are getting more of those back relatively soon. We are at 6 leaves. There is a nice card here for 6. Okay, it gives us a +4 and it gives us the D. Okay, that is maybe something. Okay, no, I think I will take this card actually. I think I will take this card. So I will do this. I would spend the 6 to acquire this card. It immediately gives us the basic action D. And again, for 3 leaves, we can remove any one of our dewdrops. And I already placed the card onto our discard pile. So let's draw our hand of cards. So this card is powering itself actually, and it even overpowers it. We get some more leaves out of this, and then we have to replenish the offer here, and that's a nice 5, 3 plus. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a very, very tasty one. Let's see if we can get that. But then it's back to Gwydion. Okay. Oh, wow. It's a good one again. Oh, I take that. We are allowed to move 1 dewdrop. And again, thinking about our powerful card here, if we move this one over here, we are allowed to remove 3 of these tokens here at least. And if you can't do a 4th one, that is fine, by the way. Okay. Let's play this. This gives us 4 more leaves, and I think in total we are getting 6 leaves. So we are already dealing with our leaves from this card here. So maybe... Oh! It's still okay, actually. It's still okay. Maybe we are not going for the other one. Here we can also remove 2 dewdrops. I think this is still worth it. Yeah, no, I think this is pretty cool actually. This one here is a little bit problematic though, but also not necessarily a bad thing actually. So yeah, let's do this. We already have taken the money and we are removing 2 dewdrops from water space. So I think I want to do that. We can still manipulate the board anyway through our standard action. So yeah, let's place those onto the shrine. Then we have this one here, which allows us to move 1 green dewdrop. We could, should we do this just to get more out? I think we do actually, because he will not end the round or basically turn the shrine with this next action. At least I think, no, there is one which allows him to remove 2 dewdrops, I believe. Yeah, I don't want to waste the card, right? So we are going to move it up here. It goes onto the shrine. Now we have the 6 money, and the idea was to go for this one here, right? And it doesn't give Gwydion anything. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending those. We are getting 1 change, and then we are ending the round, which means we are drawing this card here. Oh, what a surprise. I will shuffle the cards. Let's also refill the board, the offering. Yeah, I don't think we need this one here, and then it's basically the end of our round. Back to Gwydion, and yeah, there is the one. Are you kidding me? So we are flipping this one over. Right now nothing is happening, but this is happening. So maybe I shouldn't have. I mean, if we do it now or later, I think it may be not so important actually. Then it's the end of his round, exactly. So we are moving this over again. The only thing that matters, it's basically a dice tower, quite honestly. And these are those star spaces. These one here, which means we are getting 2 of those back. And maybe that this is not the end of the world. I think this is something we can work with actually. So let's bring this one back to the other side. Let's reset the dice tower here accordingly, and I think then it's our round. We have our powerful card back, and we are almost in a perfect position to maximize this. Problem is, yeah, we can't use this card here, but I still think it's the better deal. Is it? Does it really matter? Okay. First of all, we will play this card here for 3 leaves, and we get to remove any one of those dewdrops. And here I think I'm okay removing... Oh, we could remove this one here actually. Let's do that. Let's do that. So this was this card done. Then, yeah, this one basically gives us 3 leaves, and the way how we use it doesn't really matter. So if I remove it here for now, we could spend 3 to move something over here and then use it. So I think it doesn't really matter, because I want to spend 3 leaves down here on this action. So maybe I should see that here. So this costs us 3 to move whatever one up. And I think let's move up this one. And now we have used this one. I will flip it over, because in this turn more stuff is actually happening. Then we are playing our power move here. We are selecting this space, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nicely done. Down to only 4 dewdrops. But again, we have to place these dewdrops onto the shrine. We still have 4 more cash left. And I believe with 3, I want to use, I could remove now a card, but no, we have the, yeah, I bought the card instead. So no, we're not going to trash a card, I believe. So no, we are spending the 3 here to trigger this one. And again, we are removing the remote one. I think this was one of the one that has been added through one of these die drops, right? So let's place it onto the dice tower, onto the shrine accordingly. And I think that's the end of our round. We are flipping these back over. We are revealing 3 more cards. Okay, that's okay. Next round will be a pretty lame one, I believe. Maybe I should have removed or trashed more of my cards. Last tile for this round, and okay, he is removing 2. 1 from here because we are flipping it to the removal side, and 1 for this. So he's also down to only 4 dewdrops. So at least it feels close, which is good. But that also concludes the round. Again, it was this one here at the bottom. And I wouldn't have minded actually that he would have whatever changed the offering here a little bit. But yeah, it is what it is. And here is the new selection for the next round. Let's do the easy one first, right? So we are getting 2 leaves. Yeah, with 3 there is something we can do. With those 2, I'm afraid not. I think let's play it, of course. So let's move this one over here. And yeah, this one, I think, yeah, it could matter actually. Moving it onto a water space, we have definitely cards in here somewhere that allows us to remove tokens from water spaces. And do we want to spend now money, aka leaves, to remove dewdrops? I don't think so, because then it's almost certain we are going to get more dewdrops onto the board, and I think right now it doesn't really help us. And I don't want to spend anything else. I don't want to spend any money buying more cards and whatnot. No, I think that's it. Let's draw our cards. And then, yeah, we are moving back to Gwydion, who has a new pile of cards. And finally, he's removing the offering here. First time in the game we are seeing this. Let's reveal 5 more cards. This is a very powerful one, of course, more early game. This is also relatively cool actually, but this costs 8, and I believe this is a huge effect. First of all, you have to select one space with exactly 1 dewdrop on it, and then you are allowed to place a second portal onto your board. This can be huge. Not so sure if this is still huge at this point in time. It still allows you to remove a dewdrop right away for 8. Ooh, definitely something to consider. But yeah, it's our turn anyway. Here we are getting 4 leaves. We are so close, but we are not able to finish the game, I believe. This is so bad. This card would be nice, but yeah, we need to have 2 dewdrops on 1 space, and I can only use this one here once per turn, basically. So I can't do that again. Question now is, do I want to use this card here to move it off? I could actually move it up here, actually. It's still on a water space. We are moving it closer to the portal. So no, I think that this is worth it. Let's do it. And here we are getting 2 more bucks. And here then we have the 8 for the card, right? So this is something to consider actually. On the other hand, if we are moving this up here now with our, let's call it free move, we still have to pay for it. And then do this again, and we are drawing our power card. We could maybe even remove it. Let's do that instead. Let's spend the 3 to use this basic action here to move this dewdrop up. Or should we move? No, let's move this dewdrop up, because again we have cards with water spaces here. Let's do that. We have spent the money. We are not going to buy any more cards at this point in time, I believe. So yeah, let's draw our hand. It's still our starting card here. That really doesn't help. And then yeah, we are moving into Gwydion's turn. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we are allowed to move one of our... Okay, we have been lucky twice this round, actually. The first 2 tiles were, let's call it, kind of beneficial. This wasn't detrimental, and this is even beneficial to us. The problem really is we have really trash cards. We can't win this round again because we were so unlucky. We have to remove those cards. I wasn't really playing this well enough. In this case, I think, yeah, do I want, I mean, I want to move there, right? But the next round, let's do this, because this gives us the chance, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I have more faith in our water card than I have in our main huge setup card, right, at this point in time. Yeah, let's do that. But that's actually the end of his turn. So yeah, really was good for us. So here is 1, here is 2. So in total we are taking 3 more bucks. Then yeah, we have this one here. I think, again, if we move it here, it's more likely that he will end and basically fill up the shrine. Because again, there are only 2 spaces left. And if we are now extremely lucky and drawing the tile where he's only placing 1, there is a good chance that we could end it maybe next round. So let's use this card to move it in here, because again this gives us some setup option for a potential next round. Oh, it's so close. It's so close, and I like it. Let's see. We are flipping this one over. So yes, we were kind of lucky. It's flipping to this side, and we are putting this one onto the shrine. Still, we are not turning it. If we are now, I have forgotten to draw my cards actually. So if we are now drawing extremely lucky, we might have a chance. Yeah. I think we have won the game. So let's simply play this card here. This gives us 4 more leaves. Then we are spending 3 leaves for this one here. This allows us to move 1 tile here. Then we are playing this card. We have 1 here. We are doing this and that. They go on top of the shrine, and any excess simply goes back to the reserve. But keep in mind, we are only turning this at the very end of our round. We are still not done yet. We have this card here. Again, this gives us 2 more leaves. We are basically ignoring this effect here because we have 2 here. I think we could have also played it differently, but I still think we are okay, because now we are spending the 3 to remove any one of these dewdrops, and this is immediately game over. Even though we were the starting player, Gwydion doesn't get an extra turn. We have won the game. Wow, this is amazing, but it really felt extremely close. Let's see what his next tile would have been. No, I think he still wouldn't have won. He would have filled things up. We would have filled it up, so I think we would have at least 1 or 2 more dewdrops on our board. And then maybe, yeah, with his next one he would have won the game. If this would have been basically, I believe, one of these on the bottom, I'm pretty sure at this point in time we would have lost already. But no, in your face, Gwydion, we beat you to it. And yeah, that's pretty much how you're playing the solo mode of Mycelia. It really doesn't play any differently in a multiplayer game. Of course, a lot of these cards where other players get something like this one here, for example, when you acquire this card, every other player gets 2 leaves. So the more players you have, the more, let's call it, shared incentives you have to follow through. But apart from that, the solo mode plays very, very similarly, and it really is such a streamlined solo mode. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it. It's not the most challenging game in the world from a solo mode perspective, but then again, I was extremely lucky here. Again, some of these cards in a different order I would have lost by then or by now already. Anyway, I really hope you did enjoy my little solo playthrough of Mycelia here. Before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members out there. You guys are truly amazing. Really, really, really appreciate all your support. So if you want to support my little channel here, you will find a link to my Patreon. You can join me here directly on YouTube, so joining my community. There is a little thanks button below the video. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. This also greatly helps the channel. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.